This is the final episode of Everest Base Camp Trekking Highlights. This is not just a trek, this is a journey where preparation meets belief. From the peaceful heights of Tengbush to frozen trails, rising altitude, and endless Himalayan horizons, we moved forward step by step. At 5,000 meters, where many hesitate, we paused, not to stop, but to capture the moment. Because even at extreme altitude, beauty still deserves to be remembered. Snow followed us beyond La Bouche. Cold tested our bodies. Altitude tested our minds. Many turned back. We didn't. We stood at Everest Base Camp. We climbed Kalapata at sunrise. And we returned stronger than we arrived. This is not about Everest. This is about what's possible. When ordinary people refuse to limit their dreams. It is vital to know well about our body, health, and limits. That is why we should have proper medical checkup before commencing the trekking. If not, you will easily turn back on the way. We left Tengbush at 3,860 meters above sea level. Ahead of us lay a journey of about 10.5 kilometers through ever-changing Himalayan landscapes. A path that would rise nearly 550 meters higher into the high-altitude world where the air thins and the mountains feel closer than ever. For most trekkers, this section takes 5 to 6 hours. But time here is measured not in minutes, but in breaths, taken steps earned, and moments captured on camera. Life Himalaya trekking. We walked through ancient rhododendron forests and crossed the Imjakola, felt the trail open toward Pangboshi's quiet stone walls, and watched towering peaks grow larger with each ascending step. The journey from Tengbush to Dingbosh is where the Himalayas begin to feel real. Behind us, the calm of the monastery. Ahead of us, open valleys, rising peaks, and a trail that slowly pulls us higher into the mountains. This is not the hardest day of the trek, but it is one of the most beautiful. As we leave Tengbush, prayer flags fade into the distance, and the landscape opens wide. The trail descends first, a gentle reminder that every easy step down must later be earned again on the way up. The air is cooler, breathing feels lighter for now. We walk slowly, not to save energy, but to absorb the moment. Because this is one of those rare places where every direction looks like a postcard. The valley stretches endlessly before us. Mountains rise like walls on either side. Here, you truly understand scale. People look small, problems feel smaller. The Imjakola flows far below, a constant reminder that nature has been shaping this land, long before we arrived, and will continue long after we leave. This is where photography becomes irresistible. We stop often, not because we are tired, but because beauty demands attention. Many trekkers rush through this section. They worry about distance, they worry about time. We don't, even as altitude slowly creeps higher. We take our cameras out because moments like this deserve to be remembered. Capturing light on snow-dusted peaks, shadows moving across the valley, and trails disappearing into the distance. This is not distraction. This is connection. Here, the Himalayan giants don't just surround you, they teach you. The climate shifted, the sky seemed wider, and everyone felt the altitude with every breath. But instead of slowing down, we chose to stop, to take photos, to feel the moment, to capture the beauty that only this rarefied air can reveal. The trek from Tengbush to Dingbush teaches a powerful lesson. You don't need to rush greatness. You don't need to fear difficulty. You just need to keep moving, with respect, preparation, and belief. This journey is not about speed, it's about presence, and the Himalayas reward those who take the time to truly see them. After 6 hours of rising trail, we reached Dingbosch at 4,410 meters, where the mountains greet you with vast panoramas, and the world feels forever changed beneath your feet. Arriving in Dingbosch is not dramatic. There is no cheering, no celebration, just quiet satisfaction, the kind that comes from knowing you are exactly where you need to be. Here, the air is thinner, nights will be colder, and acclimatization will soon test our limits. Yet the views remain generous. The mountains don't punish, they reward patience. As night falls in Dingbosch, the tea house comes alive. It's crowded, warm, and full of energy. Trekkers from all over the world sharing stories, water, and early dinner. Different groups, different journeys. One shared goal. Tomorrow, many of us will climb toward 5,000 meters for acclimatization. So tonight, there's excitement in the air, mixed with quiet focus. In this simple tea house high in the Himalayas, strangers become teammates, and dreams feel closer than ever. The first time we are going be above 5,000 meters in our life. A new kind of challenge. Dingbosch is where the trek changes. At Dingbosch, the mountains feel closer, the air feels thinner, and the journey becomes deeply personal. This is where acclimatization begins. Not to chase altitude, but to respect it. At this height, many people focus only on the climb. We choose something different. We stop, we take photos, we look around. Because standing above 5,000 meters is not just a physical achievement, it is a once-in-a-lifetime perspective. Capturing these moments is our way of saying, I was here, I earned this view. Today is not about reaching a destination. It is about teaching the body to adapt. We climb high and return low. This is how the mountains allow us to continue. For us, this day carried something more. This was the first time in our lives we would climb beyond 5,000 meters. A quiet milestone, a powerful one. The first steps up, feeling the altitude. The climb begins gently, but within minutes, the body notices the difference. The higher we climbed, the deeper the breathing. Heartbeats become louder, steps become more deliberate. There is no rush here. Every step is intentional. Every pause is respected. This is not weakness. This is intelligence as we climbed up to 5,083 meters. And then, quietly, without fanfare, we cross 5,000 meters. No shouting, no celebration, just a deep breath and a smile. Because this is not about proving anything to others. This is about proving something to yourself. That limits are often closer in the mind than in the body. At the top of Nangkar Chang Peak, also known as Nagarjan Hill, the Himalayas reveal their true magic. The views are breathtaking. Not all at once, but in moments, peaks disappear behind drifting mist, then suddenly reappear, sharper, closer, more powerful than before. Clouds move like curtains on a stage, and the mountains perform in silence. Standing here, above 5,000 meters, time feels suspended. The cold is forgotten. The effort fades. All that remains is awe. This is the reward for patience, for climbing slowly, for believing step by step. Up here, you don't just see the mountains. You feel how small you are, and how limitless you can become. An unforgettable, breathtaking view from above mountains reward the patient. From here, the Himalayas reveal themselves fully. Wide valleys, snow-dusted ridges, peaks that feel close enough to touch. The silence is overwhelming. In the best possible way, up here, worries disappear. Only the present moment exists. This is why we climb. Turning back is not failure, it is experience. The mountains reward those who know when to stop, as much as those who know when to push. This discipline is what allows us to continue toward Everest Base Camp. As we descend back to Dingbosch, something feels different. The body is tired, but the mind is stronger. Because today, we stepped into unknown territory and came back confident. This was our first climb beyond 5,000 meters, and it won't be the last time. We trust ourselves to go higher. The day after acclimatization climb up to 5,000 meters in Dingbush. We were trekking up to Upper Bush over 5 hours. Elevation we gained was around 500 meters. In La Bouche, something magical happened. As darkness settled over the valley, snow began to fall. Soft, silent, and unexpected. It was our first snowfall of the trek. The tea houses grew quieter. Footsteps softened. The mountains disappeared into the night. There was a sense that something special was unfolding. The village looked untouched. Pure, calm, almost unreal. The cold air felt sharper, but the beauty warmed everything. Snow clung to prayer flags. Footprints were the only signs of life, and the mountains stood quietly, watching over the village. In that moment, there was no rush, no plan, just stillness. This was not something we expected, but something we will never forget. High in the Himalayas, on a quiet winter morning. From Lubush onward, the Himalayas changed their mood. Snow covers the trail. The ground beneath our boots was frozen solid, with a soft layer of fresh snow on top. Beautiful, silent, and demanding. Every step crunches. Every breath turns visible. Walking here felt different. The snow slows you down, forces balance, demands focus. But it also makes the journey unforgettable. Every step crunches. Every breath becomes visible. Walking here is slower, more deliberate. Balance matters. Focus matters. But this snow also transforms the journey, turning effort into something magical. The landscape grows raw and dramatic. The Khumbu Glacier stretches beside us. Peaks rise, disappear into mist, then suddenly reveal themselves again. Cold settles deep into the body. Yet the mind stays sharp. There is no hesitation here, only steady movement, one step at a time. Finally, we reach Gorakshep, exhausted but fully alive. We rest here for about 30 minutes, not to relax, but to prepare. Because from this point, the trail leads directly to Everest Base Camp. The snow, the altitude, the distance, everything so far, has been leading us to this moment. From Gorakshep, Everest Base Camp looks close. On the map, it's only about 3.5 kilometers away. The elevation gain is modest. From 5,164 meters here at Gorakshep to 5,364 meters at Everest Base Camp, a rise of just around 200 meters. By numbers alone, this should be easy, but the mountains don't challenge you with numbers. This section becomes one of the most demanding parts of the entire trek. The altitude is not the extreme, but the air is thin. The cold is relentless. We move slowly, not because we are weak, but because this is the only way forward here. Every step requires balance. At times, every breath must be earned. The trail has narrow ridges and silent focus. The trail winds across narrow ridges along the edge of the Khumbu Glacier. To one side, ice and rock, to the other, vast emptiness. There is no rushing here, only balance, only focus. The cold tightens around us. Breath becomes shallow. Every movement is intentional. This is where experience replaces strength. Porters are the quiet heroes of the Himalayas. As we walk, we meet porters, moving steadily in both directions. Their loads are heavy, incredible weights carried with quiet dignity. No complaints, no drama, just determination. Seeing them is humbling. A reminder that this journey is not only about us, it is built on the strength of others. They inspire us to keep moving, step by step. In front of us is the first sight of Everest Base Camp. And then, far ahead, we see it. Everest Base Camp. Not close, not dramatic, just a cluster of color in a sea of ice. It feels distant, almost unreal. But with every careful step, it grows closer. The dream becomes tangible. This moment fuels everything. The is a bit of mental battle, and keep moving forward slowly is the only way to succeed for people like us. The cold deepens. The ground crunches beneath frozen boots. Fatigue creeps in, not suddenly, but steadily. We slow down even more. Not because we are weak, but because this is how you survive here. In the Himalayas, at times the slow is strong. Slow is smart. Slow is respectful. Every few steps we pause, not to stop, but to breathe. In the final few hundred meters, the trail drops down toward base camp. We climb down carefully, over rocks, ice, and uneven ground. Hands numb, faces frozen, wind cutting through every layer. And then we finally arrive at Everest Base Camp. At Everest Base Camp, we spend about 15 unforgettable minutes. People greet each other like family. Strangers smile, shake hands, celebrate. Some take photos, some stand silently. I saw someone propose to their loved one. Love declared at the foot of the highest mountain on earth. Anyway, in the freezing cold, while removing my gloves to take photos, I unfortunately happened to lose my wedding ring. A small, thin, yet deeply human. Because in moments like this, nothing material truly matters. Only the experience, only the memory, only the journey that brought us here. Why this moment matters. Everest Base Camp is not a summit. It is not the highest point. But for many, like me, at my age, it is the hardest. And standing here proves something powerful. That ordinary people, with patience, adequate preparation, and belief, can reach extraordinary places. Not by rushing, not by force, but by respecting the mountain and trusting themselves. This is Everest Base Camp, and this moment will stay with us forever. Leaving Everest Base Camp was harder than reaching it. Not because the distance was long, but because the body had given everything it had. The cold felt deeper now, the air thinner. Every step back demanded more effort than the step before. For some, this walk looked manageable. For me, it was truly tiring. The kind of tiredness that comes only at extreme altitude, in extreme cold, after a dream has just been realized. As we moved away from base camp, snow began to fall, not gently, but steadily. Snow mixed with freezing rain. Gloves stiffened. faces burned with cold. This was my first time walking in such low temperatures, and the mountain made sure I felt it, yet still. We kept moving because turning back is not about comfort. It is about commitment. Slowly, the lights of Gorak Shep appeared through the snow. That sight brought relief, warmth, hope. Reaching the tea house felt like reaching shelter. After a storm, simple, quiet, and deeply satisfying. That night, exhaustion settled into every muscle, but the mind stayed awake with one thought. At around 3 a.m., we would rise again, to climb Kalapata, to watch the sun touch Everest for the first time that day. This journey wasn't over. Sometimes the strongest moments come after the hardest return, and tomorrow, before dawn, we would climb once more. At 3 a.m., the alarm sounds. Outside, the world is frozen and silent. Headlamps flicker on, and once again, we step into the darkness. The climb to Kalapata at 5,664 meters height begins slowly. The cold is intense, the air is thin and very windy. Legs are tired from everything already done. Yet somehow, the body moves. Because this is not just another climb. This is the final one. And then sunrise, the ultimate reward. The sky began to change. Darkness gives way to color. Shadows soften. The peaks emerged while we went higher as the sun rises. Everest reveals herself first time on our journey. Calm, powerful, timeless. Standing here, every hardship fades. The cold, the fatigue, the doubt. All of it feels worth it. Not because we reached a place, but because we proved something to ourselves. What Everest really gives you. Everest Base Camp is not about Everest. It is about resilience, about patience, about believing in yourself when comfort disappears. You don't come here to conquer the mountain. You come here to understand your own limits, and then realize they are further than you ever imagined. As we walk away from the Himalayas, we take nothing with us. No trophies, no medals, only memories, strength, and perspective. And that is more than enough. After days spent above the clouds today, the mountains finally allow us to descend. From Klapathar, we began a long journey, nearly 21 kilometers, mostly downhill. Each step lighter, each breath deeper. The air slowly grows richer, warmer, kinder. As we walked the rugged high-altitude, terrain gave us way to wide open spaces. Before us unfolds the Farish Valley, a peaceful bowl, cradled by giants like Amur Dablam and Towash. The wind here felt different, not harsh but welcoming. Stone houses dot the valley floor, prayer flags fluttered gently, and yaks moved unhurried, as if reminding us that life does not always need to rush. This valley is not loud, it doesn't demand attention. Instead, it heals. After days of physical exhaustion and mental discipline, Farish feels like a reward, not just for the body, but for the soul. Tonight, as the sun sets behind snow-covered ridges, we realize something important. The mountains didn't just test us, they transformed us. And tomorrow, the journey home will begin. Lukla, the gateway to Everest, and one of the most dramatic airports on Earth. Low clouds and poor visibility force us to wait. One extra day in Lukla. No complaints, just patience. Because here, nature always decides. The runway is short as 527 meters, steep, and surrounded by unforgiving peaks. Every takeoff is an act of precision, trust, and courage. Finally, the weather breaks. A narrow window opens. We board a small aircraft, engines roaring and hearts racing. As the plane accelerates, there was no room for doubt. And then, we are airborne. The Himalayas fall away beneath us layer by layer. Snow turns to rock, rock turns to green. But behind us remains something priceless. A journey that challenged our limits, humbled our egos, and strengthened our spirit. Thais is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of who we've become. This was our Everest Base Camp journey. Thank you for walking it with us.